Okay, welcome. I feel, truly, like the only two possible outcomes of my life are that I'm either homeless or a billionaire. And that might sound crazy, but I feel like some of you can relate to that. Like, I know I'm weird, right? I'm always, since I was a little kid, I've been kind of weird and a little bit different. And I know that everyone feels that way, kind of. I think other people that know me would agree that I'm idiosyncratic. To me, my thought process is like, well, if I'm not average, if I'm not in the middle of the pack, it's kind of like, well, okay, am I way behind or am I way ahead? Like, which one is it, you know? And I feel like I have some traits of both. I have the potential to fly and soar, and also the potential to fall into the ocean and swim with the sharks, so to speak. I'm very ambitious. I have big ideas, and I want to pursue greatness. But I'm also lazy. So I want to pursue greatness, right? But I think I also don't tend to do it. That's why I'm saying I might end up either being homeless or a billionaire, because it's like I feel like I have the tendencies to be some kind of great thing, but then I also have the tendencies to like sleep in a garbage can. I've had a lot of jobs. Most of them, honestly, it's pretty embarrassing to say, most of the jobs I've had for fewer than 3 weeks. Only 3 jobs I've actually had for longer than that. One of them is the job I'm at now, which is a BS job. It's a fake job at my college where I sit around and do nothing and get paid. So it's not exactly a credit to my character that I have held that down for 15 hours a week, you know. And the other 2 jobs I've had for longer than a month were Dollar Tree. I was a retail employee at Dollar Tree. And I like Dollar Tree. All the people I've met working at Dollar Tree, good people. I actually think it's genuinely a good store. I only worked for 12 or 15, maybe 15 hours a week. You know, if I worked more than that, I couldn't do it. And I mentioned that in my last video, like when I try to work jobs that are real, like either a real difficult job or like that's a lot of hours, and by a lot I mean like anywhere close to full time, I lose my mind. I get super depressed. Whole mind just shuts down and I'm like, I just quit because I'm like, I literally can't do this. It's not something I'm proud of. Like, hey, you know, I can't hold down a job for more than 2 weeks, so I'm pretty cool. It's like, no, I'm ashamed of that. The fact that I struggle to hold down these very normal type of jobs that like most people can do. Most people can work and do work full time at these like wage jobs. Like, so the fact that I struggle to do it, it either means I'm just a huge wimp, which is like totally possible and probably true. It also speaks to the fact that I think I'm just wired up differently. One of the reasons that I struggle to hold down normal jobs is that I have a very active mind. I have a very vivid imagination. I'll be at work and I'll just be fully focused and thinking on like maybe one of the next YouTube videos I'm gonna make, or a song I'm writing, or a project I wanna work on. And I've always been like that, you know. It's not necessarily productive, but it's fun. It's fun, you know. If I design a video game, you know, I would do this kind of thing, and I just think it's just fun. It's just fun to contemplate, like, or if I was going to write a book, or if I was going to make a movie, like what would I do? What kind of lenses would I use? You know, like it's just fun to sit and think about stuff. And I think most people aren't like that. Part of the reason I think I struggle to hold jobs down, because it's hard for me to just like, 8 hours of like moving boxes from one end of a warehouse to another. It's hard for me to do that, partly I think because that's never all I'm doing. You know, if my mind's not occupied doing something, it's going to be working on its own, and then I'm kind of working 2 jobs at the same time. One of the big things that's going to either make me a homeless drunkard or a billionaire is that it's kind of the inverse of ambition, or the cause maybe of ambition. I'm very sensitive to negative emotion, and I am naturally discontent. I'm always thinking like, if I could just do this, or if I could go and achieve that. And so when I'm working these kind of very entry-level kind of jobs, it's difficult for me to just focus on that and say, well, this is what I'm doing right now. Because I'm always thinking, when I get this paycheck, I'm going to use it to buy this, which is going to let me do that and achieve this next thing I'm trying to do. I don't see myself settling down somewhere in the middle of the pack, because I'm always going to be looking for that next mountain to climb or that next dragon to kill. The only other place it could take me, it's either going to take me to like being the CEO of a $1 billion company, or drinking myself to death. That's the only other way. That's the only other place that I could imagine this impulse of like wanting more and more, and chasing and striving and Yeah, chasing, because that's what drinking does. You drink 1, 2, 3 beers and it feels great, like you're on top of the world. Then the rest of the night, you drink more and more, you're just trying to chase that feeling you had the first couple beers. As much as I'm the kind of person that would be a drunkard, that would just chase like more and more and more of a drunk feeling, so one of the smartest and most creative people I've ever met. And that's not bragging, that's just the truth. I really am just trying to tell you guys the truth here. People I barely know, unprompted, will say things to me like, you're a really smart guy. One time I was working at Dollar Tree. I went into McDonald's first to get a cup of coffee. And the woman working there, I was making small talk with her. I told her I was working over at the Dollar Tree across the street. And she literally unprompted was like, yeah, but pretty soon you'll have a real good job. I guess I was just, maybe because I was being polite. If you don't have that experience, I want to invite you, because maybe no one's ever invited you to do this. I want to invite you to just imagine what that would be like. And maybe if you're a woman, and you're very beautiful, I'm sure you have this times a million, because everyone's like, wow, you're so beautiful. People don't say that to me, but they do say that I'm smart. And so think about what that is like for people that barely know you, to be like, wow, you're a really smart guy. To really say that and mean it, I think it speaks to my potential, but it's also a huge responsibility. That's a real big responsibility for people that are working at McDonald's, or people that are kind of normal people. For people to go to you and say, hey, you're really smart, man. It's almost like they're saying, hey, you better help us out here. Like, you better get something done, because you can do things that we can't. I mean, it's like Good Will Hunting. I have a lot of problems with that movie, Good Will Hunting. It's not a bad movie, but I have a lot of problems with it. And one of the problems I have with it is the ending. Because they set this whole thing up where Will Hunting is like, he's a genius, and I agree with his best friend, who says like, hey man, you kind of have a responsibility to us and to your community and to the world to do something with this God-given talent. But then the ending of the movie is Matt Damon screws off with the girl. And it's like, I don't know, man. I kind of disagree with that as the ending. How I feel as a obviously I'm not like drawing equations on, that's fake. But as a smarter guy, I do feel like people need something from me. I have something that other people don't have, and it's my responsibility as a Christian, and just as a person, to give that, to try and give of myself, that thing, that richness, the riches that I have. I don't necessarily have monetary riches at this point in time, but I have these riches of a particular gift. Like, I remember I was doing homework one time. I was working at Dollar Tree, and I was doing some Cal 1 stuff, and customers would always make these little comments. And to be fair, I'm kind of asking for attention by doing calculus while I'm working at Dollar Tree. Like, I understand that. I wasn't doing it just for attention. I was doing it to be efficient with my time and to pass the time at a relatively boring job. But of course, I understand, like, I'm gonna get little comments like, oh, whoa, I don't know how to do math, mostly. But one guy literally looks at my notebook, he says, algebra, and I was like, it's calculus. And literally, I swear, exactly word for word, he goes, better than me. How, that's such a crazy thing to say to somebody. Hey man, you're better than me. Like, I don't know, I guess I see that as a responsibility then. It's like, shit man, better than me. Not even like, oh, that's cool that you can do, straight up, no, you're better than me. Like, I don't know, man, I don't really feel that way. Like, or I shouldn't feel that way, hopefully, that I'm better than you because I can freaking do derivatives, like, come on, man. Like, I'm sure you probably have a family that you take care of. Like, that's way cooler and more important and more honorable and than me being able to, f of x minus f of x plus h. I know that's not right. It's kind of like how George Washington didn't want to be president, but everybody was like, no, you have to be president. And he's like, okay. That's kind of how I feel. It's like everyone around me is telling me how smart I am and how much potential I have. So I almost feel like I have this moral pressure to get that, or to get there, to get somewhere, to do something to help people out. If I can make $1 billion, I almost feel like I have a responsibility to do that on behalf of the good people of this country that cannot do that don't have the gifts I have, that don't have the smarts, the creativity, the free time, that are working hard, nurses, people that work in retail, fast food. I feel like I almost have a responsibility to make as much money as I can so that I can then help them with it. So related to that, there's this question when I get to thinking in my, craziness, when I get to thinking about I might be a billionaire one day, there's another voice in my head that says, well, who the hell are you? Why should you be the one out of a billion people that gets lucky? So part of the answer to that, most people don't even think about like this kind of thing. I've never talked to anybody else who's as ambitious as I am. I'm sure I will. I'm sure once I start getting into bigger and bigger rooms, like there's gonna be people that just kick my ass in terms of everything. Smarter, more creative, more ambitious, harder working. I'm not saying I'm at the peak of the thing at all. I don't believe that. I believe I'm actually on the... I don't frankly think very highly of myself. I wake up in the morning and I think things like, I want to make the best album of all time. I want to, change the music industry. I want to, I want to start my own school. A lot of people aren't even oriented in that direction. So when you ask that question of like, well, why me? It's almost like most people don't get it. Most people don't get there. But it's like most people don't even try. Most people don't make the best album of all time. Most people that are musicians don't ever try to make the best album of all time. You know what I mean? Most people who are musicians just like playing the guitar. Most people that, even out of the set of people that are musicians, the vast majority of them never seriously sit down and go, okay, I want to make the best album of all time. So when you start to ask yourself the question of like, well, why should I be the one out of, I'm just a random guy, why should I make the best album of all time? It's like, well, you're not actually competing with that many people. Because most people, even out of the set of people that are trying to do something, aren't trying to do that. I'm definitely not at my maximum potential yet. I'm not the best person I can be yet. I'm not done learning. I'm not done growing. I'm not done changing. I'm not done maturing. I know that. Don't think I'm sitting here talking to you guys as if I'm some guy sitting on the top of the mountain. I'm not. The way I see myself is I'm at the base of the mountain, the very base. I haven't even taken one step on the mountain yet. But I'm one of those people that's looking at the mountain going, I think I can climb that thing. But don't think I'm sitting here like, oh, I've got my whole life together. I don't. I'm still working on getting up at the same time every morning. Basic life skills, doing the dishes. That's what I'm working on right now. Stuff like that. My motivations. Why am I motivated to choose billionaire over homeless drunkard? Part of it is because I believe in God, and I believe that being a homeless drunkard is, other than just not being very much fun, I think it's morally wrong, independent of anything else. So I want to try to avoid doing that. I feel like as the oldest son of the family, it falls on me to rise up as my father gets older. It's on me to rise up and become the patriarch of the family. I do feel that way. My duty to my family to try and go and really make something of myself so that I can lift them up with me and provide for them. And I want to start my own family and have my own wife and kids, and I want to provide for them. And I'm not going to put my kids in public school. I want to give my kids a good education, and that costs money. My motivations aren't, I don't want to buy a yacht. I don't want anything like that. I want to sleep on a cot and read my Bible and read other books and just listen maybe to music, go for runs. That's what I want to do. I don't want to have any like material wealth. I don't want a fancy car. I don't want a fancy house. I don't want to deal with any of that dumb stuff that people who are rich like to care about. I think that's just a complete waste of money, and more importantly, frankly, it's a complete waste of time and energy. That you could be doing something so much more productive with that. What I want to do is I want to help the poor. I want to help my family. I want to be a patron of the arts. I want to change the world for the better. I'm not doing this, and I'm not thinking about all these big ideas so that I can sit here and like get things for myself. I don't want things for myself. I want things for the world, and I want to glorify God by my life, as they say at the end of every mass. Well, I think that was a productive little talk with you guys. Thanks for watching. If this ends up getting views, I want to say to you guys, leave in the comments suggestions and thoughts in terms of the future of this channel, what kind of videos you want to see me make. I want to keep making these more philosophical ones, but I'm also going to start making some videos in the future about books. And probably I'll make some videos about like random stuff in my life. But, yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.